Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Miss.
Good evening, Miss.
Good evening. I must commend Group 2, Dijon. Your group, most if not all of your members were here on time for class. So good job, Group 2. Keep it up. And for the other groups who were working on getting your members in on time, keep encouraging them to log in a little early. Okay, so
Thanks,
new
Miss.
person's coming in. Good job. You're a good leader, Dijon. All right. So today we're going to do the attendance a little different. And for each person in class, I'm going to be asking you a question, since we want to ensure that you keep studying and keep reviewing the concepts that you're learning from the interactive slides that Dr. Ryan shares, as well as the material that you read, and from the assignments that you're given as well. Okay, just a minute. Opening up my grade sheet. Okay, Kadisha, are you here? It's not here. Next person. Tyler.
Present.
Okay, so Tyler, your question is, what does MIS mean?
Miss, could please repeat?
What is MIS according to
MIS?
What is MIS?
Management Information System.
Okay, so that's the name of this course. Now the next person, Melanie. Melanie isn't here. Okay.
Yes, Miss, I just get in.
Okay. So your question is, Melanie, you get to define MIS according to what we've been learning from the first week of class. What are management information systems?
Miss, right now, I just reached home, Miss, so I try settle in. Shut up. Miss Ray, Mr. I know that right now, Miss, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you, Melanie.
All right, Miss.
Juan Jose, you got the same question Melanie had. What is the definition of management information systems?
Good night, ma'am. Management information system is the study of people, technology, organization, and the relationship amongst them.
All right, very good, Juan Jose. Sounds like you've been studying. Santiago.
Good night.
Good night, Santiago.
Good night, ma'am.
Your question is, it's a very easy question. We've been using a mnemonic to represent the definition of management information system. Do you remember what that mnemonic is?
I think it's coins.
That's a good try, but it wasn't coins. I'll give you a hint. It starts with the same letter your name starts. All right. So you don't remember that one?
Probably not, ma'am. Sorry, I have to be honest here. I'm actually this is the first time I'm logging in one of your online sessions. I had a little challenge of trying to figuring out my way with Moodle. It's not my first time using Moodle. I had the last about a year ago, so this is my first semester for this year, and I had a little challenge, but I remember coins, but maybe it's not for this course, but I'm not certain. No.
Okay, you are correct about coins, but that's not the mnemonic. So coins actually refers to another aspect of information systems.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna get you up to speed, no worries. All right, the next,
Sure, no problem. And I also see there should have been probably maybe assigned groups. I'm not certain. I had just found out um I did download the course outline, but I think I had the wrong course outline. I had the one from Dr. Ryan's class, and I found your one just now. And I see, I think spreadsheet with some names of group members, but I probably don't happen to have a group at the moment. Can you help?
okay, so we're gonna discuss that in a little bit, all right?
Sure, no problem.
All right, so I'm glad that you're able to join us even at this late stage, and we're gonna try to get you up to speed. I'm sure that the class is one that is willing to work with you, and as long as you're willing to work along with them. All right, so Kaylee, your question is, there were 6 strategic business objectives that we mentioned in our first or second week of classes. Can you remember any of them? Kaylee isn't here. Let's go on to Leonce. Leonce, you have the same question. Tell me any one strategic business objective.
Good night, Miss. Operational excellence.
Very good. That's one of them. Araceli, can you give us another one? Okay, Araceli is absent. Alyssa, give us one more strategic business objective.
New product or service.
Pardon?
New product or service.
All right. So I heard products and service. I didn't hear the rest of it, but that's one of them. Let's see who else. Lisa. Kyler, give us a third business objective, strategic business objective.
Customer and supplier intimacy.
Okay, very good. And Kyler, good job on being the first one to class once again. Ronell, your question is, what's the acronym that we use to remember the 6 strategic business objectives? Ronell isn't here. Let me ask Daniel. Daniel, what's the acronym that we use to remember the 6 strategic business objectives? Okay, he's not here either. Kenroy, are you here?
Present, Miss.
All right, so you got the same question. What's the
Miss
acronym?
Points.
Very good. Okay, Fidel, are you here?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. In your opinion, how are information systems transforming business today?
Information systems are transforming business today as they provide a faster way to store data and help management get their done work faster by providing different softwares and ways in which management can make decisions faster and better.
Thank you, Fidel. Ivani, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Now we spoke about some approaches and disciplines as well that are related to information systems management. There were two approaches. Do you remember the name of one of those approaches?
Isn't planning activity one of them?
Pardon?
Planning activity?
No, that wasn't what we were looking at. So the one we were looking at is either the technical approach or, do you remember the other one? All right, so we had the behavioral and the technical approach. You just need to review. Those are the approaches you had to speak about in your forum 1 when you spoke about the academic, the disciplines related to MIS. All right, Dijon.
Yeah, Miss.
Okay, good night, Dijon. So your question is, can you tell us some of the disciplines that fall under MIS? Any of the disciplines you can think of.
Sociology.
All right, very good. Sorry, not Stephanie, Miriam. Can you give us another discipline?
Management science.
Kira, another discipline.
Miss, is it me, Kyra?
Kyra, sorry. Can you tell me another discipline, please?
I didn't hear what the other person said, but I'm gonna say computer science.
Okay, very good. Nobody gave that one as yet. And let's see. Sophia, one more discipline.
Management next.
Okay, I'll accept that one because I know where you're going with it. Okay. Chelsea, your question is, can you tell us one subject that you've done that falls into any of the disciplines that MIS is related to?
It would be sociology, management information. Well, you call it business. Oh my gosh, business communications. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Cheyenne? Are you here, Cheyenne? All right, she's absent. Jenny?
Good night, miss. Yes, sir.
Okay, good night, Jenny. So another question for you, same thing. One subject that you've done in your career that relates to the disciplines of MIS.
Economics, sis?
Okay, you studied economics. Very good. Next person. Kenya.
Yes, miss.
Okay, there are 3 elements that we study in information systems management. Can you list them?
Yes, miss. I think I'm not sure. Organizations, technology, and management.
Excellent. Now, if you guys forget those, that means you weren't paying attention in class because you've been writing about them, presenting them in your practical project assignments, and having to write about them in your case studies as well. All right, so let's go on to the next person. Kenya.
I just got
Oh,
this.
sorry, Kenya. It looks like I want to give you more questions. Xiomara.
Hi, Miss. Good night.
Good night. All right. So for businesses today, sorry, not businesses today. How will MIS help you in your professional career?
MIS would help me in my professional career because it helps with problem solving. It could give great business skills, and I think it also helps with critical thinking.
Right, very good. Brandon, I'm asking you the same question because I know you might not be doing the same thing as Xiomara. How would it help you specifically in your career?
And can you please repeat the question once more?
How will MIS, or the study of management information systems, help you in your professional career?
MIS will help me in my professional career as it will help me gain the theoretical foundation on how to manage I would say information system and the ways in which it adds value to the organization in a whole. I should be able to comprehend how that the different systems that will be used within the workplace that I will work at. And that's about it. Not sure that responds your question.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. Anthony.
Yes, miss.
Okay, what can you tell me about the strategic business objective survival? What can you tell me about survival?
It's not just basically like if we remove technology from a institution or a firm, if that means if that firm or institution will still be like running. For example, if let's say that if we remove online classes for UV, that doesn't mean that UV will stop existing because they will still be offering face-to-face classes.
Thank you, Anthony. Martha.
Yes, miss.
So I'm going to ask you about competitive advantage. What can you tell us in your own words about that business process? That strategic business objectives, sorry.
Miss, there are 4 competitive advantages, which are the cost leadership, differentiation, defensive strategies, and strategic.
Okay, so wherever you find that a question is difficult, it just means that you have to review, because as you know, near mid-semester, you guys will be getting your first test. And the questions might not be identical to the ones I'm asking you right now, but it's just a way for you to see what areas you need to review from chapter 1. Now, this next question I'm going to ask is based on chapter 2, so it might be a little more challenging if you haven't done the interactive slides as yet, but let's see what you're able to share with us. Shamika. All right, Shamika is absent. Kerwin. He's also absent.
Miss, if you call my name, miss, I came in late, miss. This is Ronald.
Ronald. Okay, I'm gonna come back to you in just a minute.
Okay, miss.
Sandra. Sandra is absent too?
Here.
Oh, you're here. All right, Sandra, in our last class on Monday, we spoke about some types of information systems. Can you tell me the name of one of them?
Miss, can you please repeat the question? My internet is kind of slow. I didn't hear your question.
Okay. Name one information system that we spoke about on Monday.
Database management.
That wasn't the name. Try again. All right, so she's thinking along the right lines, but we're looking for the name, okay? So
Miss.
let's go. Yes, go ahead, Kerwin.
Mr. Sorry, this that current miss you said that I'm absent, but I'm answer same time that I'm there, but I think Ronell me talk same
Okay.
time too.
All right, I'm going to give you Sandra's question, Kerwin. Name one of the information systems that we discussed on Monday.
Miss the transaction processing system.
Very good. That's one of them. Vashti.
Here.
Okay, give us another information system name.
Executive Information System.
Okay. And we also refer to it as the executive support system, right? So ESS or EIS. Very good, Vashti. Kian. Give us another one.
Management Information System.
Very good. And Randine. Give us one more information system.
Decision Support System.
Excellent. All right, so those are the information systems that we mentioned on Monday, but I wanted you guys to go and learn about the enterprise applications. So how many of you were able to complete Dr. Ryan's slides, interactive slides? Just by show of hands. Let's see the hands.
For chapter 2, Miss?
Yes, for chapter 2.
I haven't finished it, but I'm more than halfway through.
Okay,
Miss, I never finish it either.
I'm
So
more than
I
halfway
started, got through, I'll leave it.
Okay, so some of you started, but you're not quite finished. All right,
Yes,
so that's a good sign. You're using your time well.
Yes, ma'am.
And as soon as you're able to, you need to finish those so that you can attempt forum number 2. Forum number 2 speaks about some of the problems that students experience at UB. And you are now given the task as a consultant to fix this problem by coming up with steps that you're going to not just write about, but graphically represent. So you're going to show a little diagrams showing the steps that you would take as a consultant to fix the problem that UB is having. But where the interactive slides also helps you is in diagnosing the type of system that you're either presenting or the type of system that UB has. So from the explanation, you will be able to determine if your information system is just a decision support system or just a MIS, or is it an enterprise application that affects all levels of management. So that's one of the things that you will benefit from when you complete those interactive slides. Dr. Ryan has little quizzes that you can do as well just to keep you sharp. And they're an excellent way to study for tests as you prepare for the upcoming test that we will have in near mid-semester. All right, let me just go to the class list. I know Mr. Santiago he just mentioned to us that this is his first class. So I'm gonna do some housekeeping for his benefit and for those of you who are already familiar with this is just a refresher.
Thanks, Miss.
You're welcome. Okay, so Santiago, your course page, mine is loading, but the course page looks something like this. And every week we use this green Zoom meeting link right here to access the class. My page is gonna look a little different from yours because I have a little bit more content. These slides here with the H5P icon are what we call interactive slides. These slides have videos, they have activities that you can participate and actively participate and interact with while you go through the slides. But we also have the static slides here for chapter 1. And those you can just read. They don't have the activities along with them like the interactive slides do, but they're there for you to read. If you are still not grasping the concepts from the slides and the videos, there's also the notes that you can read, and they further detail all the aspects of the information system overview, because it's just an introduction. This is the introductory chapter, and it gives you a brief summary of everything we're going to cover in all 5 units. That's what chapter 1 does. These links here, whichever of the icons that you see that has a H5P logo on it, is corresponding to these slides up here. So that's one thing you're going to notice. For every chapter, we have 3 types of assessments, okay? Every first week, we have what we call a 3-process rotation. Every first week, we have theory. That's what we're doing now. This is what we call the first week. And every theory week, we're going to submit a forum. Now, the forums are individual assignments, and each of these become due on Sunday at midnight. When you submit your forum post, there is usually a rubric that accompanies it. For those that don't come with a rubric, we would explain in class what we're expecting to see. You're also expected to respond to 2 of your peers' forum posts as well. So it's not just you writing, but you also reading other person's forum response and responding to them, giving them feedback that is, going to benefit them. The second type of assessment that you'll have, you're going to have would be the practical projects. And these are different. Every week, every second part of the process, you're going to have a different type of practical project. These are group assignments. So in your groups, you would work on those. The due dates are usually there for you to see when the assignment becomes due. And then the third type of assignment, this is not submitted every week, but these are the research component of your project. Again, this is a group activity. It's different from the practical project, but it's done in the same group that you're in for the practical project. Every third week, you'll be working with your group to prepare for that research aspect. All right, so these are there. For unit 2, this is where we are right now. We're at the interactive slide. So these are what you're going to go over in your free time to familiarize yourself with the terms for the chapter and some of the important aspects of the chapter. When you've done those, then you'll be able to do this forum right here, forum number 2. And I will allow you to read this forum in your free time, but it asks you to find a solution in your role as a consultant for the University of Belize. And notice, and you're going to explain in your response the importance of business processes and how information technology can help to improve the application process at UB, admissions department. You clearly outline your business process by steps, and illustrate means that you're going to show something. So you're going to draw something or create a diagram using any of the tools that you have available. Some use Canva, some use the icons and the shapes in Microsoft Word. Whatever you have to help you to illustrate these steps that you've mentioned in a figure, that's going to help you to graphically represent what you're saying. All right. So after you've done the forum, then we would move on to explaining the second assignment, which would be your practical project. Now, this practical project is not due this week, but tonight I'm going to be sharing with the class what the practical project is all about. So if you'd like to have a head start, you can start working on it as soon as you're done your forums. Tonight, let me pick on Brandon to read for us.
Miss, and then where can I find the previous live sessions that you had?
Okay, those I need to share with you. I have been, by request of some students, I started adding them to YouTube because this school has a policy. They're trying not to add too many files to the cloud. So all I can share are links. On the Google form, the same Google sheet that I have there, I've been adding some of the links. So I'm going to share that after we've read this assignment, okay?
Sure.
All right. All right, so Brandon, you can read for us.
Practical project number 2, identifying management decisions and systems. Groups will select a manager from the University of Belize or any mid to large size local business. Peer group will find a description of the manager's duty and responsibility and gather information about what the manager does and the role he or she plays in the organization. Identify the organizational level and business function where this manager works. Make a list of the kinds of decisions this manager has to make and the kind of information the manager will need for those decisions. Currently, what information system, if any, is being used to help supply the information the manager requires to make decisions? In addition, based on your knowledge and what you have learned, suggest how information systems could supply information the manager needs to make decisions, or design a system that you believe the manager can use to help make better decisions. Prepare a 10-minute presentation to present your findings.
So in a little while, I will ask you guys to go into your groups to discuss this just briefly tonight. But notice what it's asking you to do. As a group, you will find one manager that you would like to interview. This manager doesn't necessarily have to do anything with your project. It could be somebody that you know at work, or it could be the same person, say a manager from the same organization that you're doing for your research project. It doesn't matter. You just choose a manager. And you're going to get a brief description of their duties, responsibilities, and get information about what they do, their role in the organization. You're going to identify, the level in the organization. So this means right away, we have to see an organogram or something to show the hierarchy, the structure, and where this manager falls in all of that. You're specifically drawing attention to the business functions. And from this, I'm going to see how much of the slides from Dr. Ryan you were able to understand and how well you could explain what business functions are. So that means you're going to ask the manager some information and find out what are the departments within their organization. Do they have sales? Do they have accounting, etc.? And you list those as the functional units in that explanation. You're also going to list the kinds of decisions this manager has to make and what kind of information that manager needs to make those decisions. So again, this looks at the business processes and it lets you know what kind of information system they may be using. All right, so again, you want to find out everything you can from that manager to help you to determine what are their business processes, what information system they might be using from the classifications that were given in chapter 2 from La-Dene and La-Dene. Based on your knowledge of what you've learned, you have to suggest how that system could supply information to the manager to help him or her to make better decisions. Or you could design a system that they could benefit from. Perhaps you are interviewing a manager who doesn't yet have an information system and they could benefit from one. Your little assignment here could assist them in identifying some information systems that they could use to improve processes that their businesses make on an ongoing basis and how they could benefit from the system that you're proposing. So in a case like that, the person that you're interviewing benefits because you're giving them feedback that they can actually use. All right, I'm going to show you one of the projects that was done before, just a benchmark project, so that you have an idea of what you'll be doing. Now, this group of students, they did Belize Sugar Industries, and notice they spoke just briefly. You're telling us who the manager is, what's their position, where do they work, years of service. The organogram lets us know where in the hierarchy that manager falls. And then you list the duties and responsibilities. You speak about the information system with respect to the decisions that need to be made by that manager. How do the information systems help that manager to perform his or her duties? So again, they're listing some of those decisions there. And just in summary, they're speaking about how the information system can help. They mention some of the strategic business objectives here. And finally, you give your own suggestions on how the system can improve. So for every assignment, I want you to consider yourself a consultant, and you are giving usable feedback to each of these persons that we give you in these case studies, these assignments that you're given. On the screen, I have the groups that you guys are assigned to. And group 7 is the only group with a space right now. So Santiago, I'm going to have to put you in that group. You will need to share your contact with the group leader and the rest of the team. We have Tyler, Juan, Tyrell, Araceli. So kindly share your contact. You guys are going to go in breakout rooms in just a minute. So when you get in those breakout rooms, you're going to share your contact with them and find out how you can assist with this project. So the project that we're speaking of is Practical Project 2, and you guys are going to meet to discuss a potential manager that you'd like to contact for this project and how you're going to go about doing that assignment. Just a reminder as well, please check the case study chart calendar so that you know who is supposed to present. Tonight, we are supposed to have a presentation from Kaylee, Ms. Flores. So I haven't seen her slides as yet, so I don't know if she is prepared to present or not. But remember, these are individual assignments. They're not like the regular forums that we have. This case study, you're only going to get it once. And when you've done it, that's it. All right. So I'm going to break you into your groups now. And you're going to be discussing practical project number 2 and who is going to be the manager that you approve.
Excuse me, miss. Good night.
Randy, go ahead.
Yes, miss. I know my name is the last person on the list for the case study. So I was wondering if, like how the others are missing their time, will my date remain the same?
Yes. Did you want to move up and present in place of one of those persons?
Not tonight. I was just wondering if the date was going to be the same.
Yes, the date remains the same.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Are you not able to get into your group?
Well, mom, only myself and Co were in the group. That's why I thought I was the only one in a breakout room. So, but I see that no one is here. So I might have to join. I'm not sure where are the rest of my group members.
Oh, okay. Let me check the list again. Yeah, everybody in the
So,
group right now. I have,
okay.
yeah, let me check. Hi, Santiago. You guys finished already?
No, not as yet. It seems that only 2 participants that logged in. I'm not certain what is happening, but
Yeah, it seems that the others aren't in class because I'm not seeing Tyler.
okay.
Yeah, so it seems that from your group, only the 2 of you came to class tonight. So that might be the issue.
Okay. Can you go back to this I'm a bit lost. What was the purpose of the discussion in the group?
You guys were supposed to be discussing the second practical project. I'm just gonna
Okay.
share it for you since you are pretty new, right?
Yeah.
Just a minute. And then Juan Jose could get you up to speed as well. So on the course, you'll be able to view several things. All your assignments are here. All the projects that you'll be doing are here. And under unit 2, just scrolling down, you'll be able to see your assignments. The first one you have to do is this forum, and that one you need to submit it by Sunday of this week. The second assignment is further down. This is the practical project, and this one is due on the 18th of September. So that's not this Sunday, but the following week. This is what you guys should be discussing, you and Juan Jose. So maybe you could stay right here in the main room and ask me if you have any questions or anything that needs to be clarified.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Also, Miss, I was going through, what I did is that, at the time when I was logging in, I had only, saw the, course outline for Dr. Ryan, and I was following up there, but I didn't knew that, when there's another tab that says, course coordinator and the rest, and then that's where I was supposed to go. Anyways, now that I'm here, there is a case study that I was supposed to probably present on or something. What do we do then?
Okay, since you were late and you've explained your situation to me, I will allow you to present. Normally, we don't give extensions like that. However, your situation is a little different. It's not like you were coming to class and then you deliberately did not submit it. So I'm going to allow you to work on this for next week, Monday. So next week, Monday, that's the only other opportunity you'll have to present this case study.
Okay.
Okay, where is your name? Right here? All right, so when you click on the link here, it's going to download the article that you're supposed to read. And there are just a few questions. When you have read the case study, we are ready to answer the questions. You're going to prepare a PowerPoint with the response to those questions. Let me just show you a benchmark presentation just to give you an idea. I think I passed it. Chapter 1. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. Now, the students started by putting the name of their study on the slides, as well as the date and, of course, their name. They just give us summary. You're not going to read the case study to us in class, but you're going to summarize it for us so that we can understand what the case is about. And you're teaching the class about this case because they probably haven't read about it before. Then you go into answering the questions. whether there's 5 questions, 2 questions, 3 questions, whatever amount. And you might have to use other resources to answer the questions. They're simple questions, but they require you understanding the chapter, understanding the terms, using the terminologies, and explaining your response. Now, your final slide for any case study that you do must explain how that case relates to beliefs. So for the case study you're given, you're going to try to find some entity in beliefs that has a similar business model. For example, you have UPS. You might think of the postal service that does a similar service to UPS. Or there might be other businesses and beliefs that do similar services to UPS that you can compare them to. And you're going to show us how similar they are, how different they are, and how beliefs could benefit from a service like UPS. All right, that's the idea of what you're doing in the case study. And of course, you have your references. For the rubric, let me just show you. I haven't posted the case study grades as yet, but in the course outline, you'll be able to see the rubric there. Your content is 70% of the grade. Another 15% goes to how you deliver, how you present, and another 15% goes towards the presentation itself, your PowerPoint slides. You must have an introduction, something to engage the audience and let them know, okay, this is why my subject is important. This is what my project is about. You state your objectives and you identify the questions. In the body of your presentation, you're going to present your arguments there and address the questions that you were given. You have to give us proof and evidence to show us why your answer is correct. And then you summarize it with a conclusion, which is just a summary of all the major points from your presentation, any weaknesses that you found in the article or when you were comparing the beliefs and the case study you were given. And of course, what's your take-home message? What do you want the class to remember after you've shared that presentation? So those are some of the things that should be coming out. This is what we're using to grade you. So if you follow this, you shouldn't lose any points. All right, but that's the case study. So next week, Monday, I'm going to let you present in class what you've learned about the case from UPS.
Sure, at the beginning of the class?
Yes. And if you don't, usually I might place you, if I don't have you at the beginning, it will be at the middle or the end of the class, but you will be presenting in class, all right?
Okay, maybe, and what's the time frame? 10 minutes?
5 to 10 minutes is good. It shouldn't be a long presentation.
Okay, well, I'd probably prefer in maybe at the ending of the class, because I work in Independence. I travel every day to PG, so I'm always should be on time for your classes, but I'd prefer, you know, close to the ending of the class.
Okay, I will keep that in mind when I'm working on my schedule for next week. All right.
Sure,
so
but I should be ready. I should be ready.
Okay.
Then the other thing is for forum 1, I think there's where you're supposed to construct a website, but I was supposed to be collective as a group.
That was practical project 1. Yes, that should have been done in groups.
Okay. All right. Well, Miss seems to be a very interesting course. I like computers a lot, you know, so I should be good.
All right, so I'm hoping that you will be able to catch up. You still need to do the forums. Practical project 1 is gone, but if you're able to do the assignment on your own, then you can still submit it. For that one, you would have had to just build a website that speaks about the company that you were interested in studying.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, no problem. Good. I should be able to catch up. It's not that I haven't started. I have started reading the slides, but I haven't had a session with you. That's my thing. That's my thing there. I had started, you know, but not. I was trying to figure out if there was a live session for this class, because I think I tried once. I tried to log on, but there was no class, or I'm not certain what happened. No, but so this is my first time logging in.
Okay. Also before the class, at least an hour before the class, you need to send the presentation link so that I can share the presentation just in case you're not able to. All right, so that just confirms that you are ready to present. You can send it
Yeah.
long before, it doesn't have to be an hour before, but the latest is an hour before the class.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so everything else is there on Moodle, however, and a lot of the activities you'll be doing is in groups. The only individual assignments will be tests. You only have 2 tests for the semester. One is at mid-semester, and then the second one is near the end of the semester. You have a final project research that you will be working on throughout the course. The weeks that you work on the research, the parts that you're doing doesn't become due in those weeks. When they become due, it's at the end of the semester when we're compiling your books and you're presenting before the panel of judges. All right, so you guys will actually do a presentation speaking about any organization you'd like to research. Your group would have started already, so you can find out from them what organization they chose, and then you would prepare a presentation as well as a document about that company's information system. You need to read articles about systems similar to that one, and then compare them in your research. So there's quite a few steps, but we'll be going through them together as the weeks progress.
Okay, and then the final project is basically in place of the exam, and it's a
That's right.
collective effort between the groups.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, I believe everybody is back from the breakout session. Yes, Kira?
Miss, so my group member, well, it was only me and her because 2 other persons, they didn't join, or I guess they're not here. We wanted clarification on the, well, we went to the course outline, and this is due the 12th, or
no, it's gonna be due the 18th. Okay.
Okay, and then here we had, I think I have expressed to you that the organization, we're not going to use the organization that we were using previously, and then we were wondering if we can choose, well, it said a local business, so do we send you the business we had in mind, and then if you can confirm if it can be used or not?
That can work. You can send the business and then I'll let you know.
Okay, miss, and if a last thing, if you have time, can you please let me know, well, me and the other member as well, we wanted to know the final project, because I'm not really, well, I guess I overlooked it on the course outline.
You're asking to explain what the final project is?
Yes, ma'am. Or is all these practical projects leading up to the final project?
Okay, I can explain that. All right. Your practical projects are an ongoing assignment that you will do as a group, but it's very different from the research project. The research project is basically your course exam. And every 3rd week, you'll be working towards completing that research project. However, you don't submit anything until the end of the semester. Because the research project and the practical projects are done in the same group, that's probably where the confusion is. There are 2 different assignments. The research is different because it looks at one organization. It's looking at the information system they have. And then you're trying to find articles that are speaking about information systems similar to the one you're studying. Let's say, for instance, you decided to study UB's information system as it relates to the learning management system we're using, Moodle. You decide, I want to study Moodle. So that means we have to find out what other schools or what other papers we can find about schools that use Moodle or information systems similar to Moodle, and how successful were these systems or not. What you're really assessing is, are these systems being used successful for that organization or are they not? Just your objective for the whole course. You're trying to find everything to say whether or not the system that is being used at the organization you selected is successful or not, and you have to find evidence to support what you're saying. One of the ways we find evidence is by submitting a survey. And I'm going to ask you guys to wait before you submit the survey that I sent you. The survey that I sent you, a student showed me an error in it, so I need to check back with Dr. Ryan. So before you submit that one to the organization, just let me confirm with him. Now, I know he's very busy, so it does take him a while to respond, but as soon as I get a response, I'm going to update you guys. So that's what you should be doing right now, is deciding what organization I'd like to study, getting the permission letter to them if they ask you for a letter just to prove that you are a university student and this is not you just trying to pry into their business. The study is really just to find out what information system they use and what you can learn from it. If you're studying a bank, Social Security, etc., Social Security has their own information system. Banks have their own. Even some businesses, some schools have their own. So you can select one organization, find out what system they use, how it supports their business processes, how it supports the people and the organization, and then you write up about that. But those, that one is different from the practical projects. All right, the practical projects that you have, you'll notice that every week, every 2 weeks, you get a different one in the cycle that we have. So this one here is you creating a solution to a problem that exists right now at UB, and UB might not be the organization that you're studying for your practical, for your research project.
Miss Sophie, this project, will I do a video recording or will actually present to you?
You're going to do a video recording.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
With the same presentation we have to do, the same things that we have to get together. Like the first one where the person presents on the whole website. So it's the same process.
Let me see if I understand you. Are you asking if it's done the same way you did the first assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So in your groups, you can record. Most of you send a recording, you know, just like this, of one person presenting, and that works. So you have your PowerPoint and you just show us the steps. You're not building a website this time. That's the difference. It's just a PowerPoint answering the question that you were given as a group.
Yes. One question about the assignment. With the assignment, you have illustrate. So illustrate means that you are how you wanna do that?
Okay. What you're doing is showing us a process, and you can Google online. You can look for some online for inspiration. For example, when you look at business processes, let's say payment. What's the first thing you would do when you're making a payment for the electricity bill online, right? Step one, you might go and log into your portal, your account at the bank. And then step two might be verifying, you know, after you've logged in, you want to select the account and ensure that you have the right information. You've selected BEL, and you verify that the amount you're sending is what your bill actually is. So that's 2 steps right there. Or you could even break those into smaller steps. And the third step might be making the payment and confirming, and then you close out the process. So those are a number of steps that we just did. And I could just draw some little squares to show, okay, step 1, this is what I do. Step 2, this is what I do. Or I could use icons to represent each of those processes. So it's up to you to determine how you want to illustrate it. You can be creative and use process diagrams that you are able to create using Word or Canva or whatever. Let me see if I can find a picture of one online just to show you.
Okay, Miss, thank you.
Miss, can you please go over how will we copy this questionnaire and make it our own to share? Thank you.
All right, so this is one that I found online. So they're just showing for the payment process, they're showing customer, then they have the online seller, payment gateway, etc. You get to determine how you'd like to illustrate your process. It doesn't have to look exactly like these. But after you've come up with your steps that you'd like illustrated, you can do something like that. There are different ways that you can represent it. All right, so to the questionnaire the question about the questionnaire. That one, like I said, I have to get a response from Dr. Ryan. I'm going to show you one that students did when they were still making their questionnaires. All right. So the one he sent me is Google Forms link, because, you know, with the pandemic, they stopped using the regular surveys and they wanted to get information quickly. But normally your survey would have a purpose and instructions so that the user knows exactly what they're to do. Based on the DeLone and McLean model, there were several factors that were used to determine how successful an information system is. Yes?
Miss, it's not about the content of the questionnaire. It's when you stated that we should make a copy of our own before we share it.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay, I misunderstood. Let me go back to that one. It's on Moodle, right? Let me go in here. Resource sheet, and it's right here. Okay, so for this, I would click on the pencil. And okay, because you guys are seeing that, you would see the 3 dots right next to the icon that represents the user. And then that gives you a little drop down. So there you'd be able to click make a copy. When you click make a copy, you can name it whatever you'd like to and put it in a folder that you choose. Okay. You can put it in the folder that you select, and then you'd be able to start editing. Because if you don't make the copy, then all of your data is going to come into one form, which doesn't make sense. So you'll have conflicting results. All right, so I did mention, okay, we're almost, yeah, it's 8:15. But last thing I'm going to say, so we can wrap up. I started adding the live session links here on this 3rd sheet in the groups workbook. And so as soon as I've copied the others, I'm going to upload them here so that you are able to see them. Right now, they're asking us not to upload stuff to the cloud for a variety of reasons. So we have to save it to YouTube and then share the link with you guys. All right. So that's the process. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, are there any other questions?
Miss, I'm part of group 6 and we just wanted to talk to you real quick after class.
Sure, no problem.
Miss, I have a question, Miss, regarding the practical project number 2, Miss.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you explain one more time the last part, Miss, when it says based on your knowledge and what you have learned, suggest how information system could supply information the manager needs to make decision, or design a system that you believe the manager can use to help make better decision. Is that us providing the information to the manager itself and having feedback from him, or us just doing our own suggestion for the actual presentation?
Okay, so this one is actually you creating your own suggestion. And this suggestion will be informed from chapter 2 about the different types of systems that exist. So you'll have to
Okay.
look at the systems that are there as well as the application, the enterprise applications, and determine which one of those is best for the organization.
Okay, Miss, thanks.
Sure. All right, any other questions? No? All right, so the rest of you are dismissed. I'm going to see you tomorrow after class, and you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
You
Yeah,
too,
Miss.
miss. Thank you. Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Say good night, Zion.
Good night.
All right. You helping
Miss,
your mom with
Bye,
your
miss.
homework?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Miss, I have a question regarding this recording for tonight's class. When are you going to upload it? Upload this? I'm just curious.
Usually I upload them when I get to work in the morning. Yeah, so I'm going to add it later on tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Sure.